WWE released 3 very well-known superstars that we need to roll through and get some quick thoughts on. And I would say the most shocking of all of them is Baron Corbin was released on Friday. I was shocked by this, honestly, because when we saw him at SmackDown in Nashville, he was over, dude. Like, the crowd was so behind. He really did get one of the biggest pops of the night. The crowd was so behind him, and he really came back to prominence when he was in NXT. He just never capitalized on that on the main roster, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily him. I think they brought him up and just had nothing planned for him. I get the same sentiment about him that I do with Dijak. I think they both had a lot of potential on the main roster to be massive stars and just never really got the opportunity to shine. But the times they did, I mean, they killed it. And I think, obviously a lot of people, when they think of Baron Corbin, they think back to the 2018, 2019 Constable Corbin, where the McMahon family literally blamed him for Raw sucking so bad, and is like, nope, he's not the one that writes the show. Like, you might want to make him the scapegoat, but we all know who really is in charge of all this crap.
Of course.
And then, you had the dog food incident with Roman and just all of that stupid stuff that they put him through. And then you get to him and Pat McAfee and things like that were starting to pick up a little bit for him. And then they put him on NXT and it rejuvenated his career. And he took off and was killing it in NXT for a while. I hate that they brought him up just to do nothing with him.
Yep.
I think that he could have fit in. I think he could have made a really nice addition to SmackDown roster and been a big part of that. I hated that he got released as he was starting to catch a lot of momentum, on house shows and backstage and everything. And then it all came to an end.
Yep. And it's very sad, as much as we gave him flack and as much as, as much crap as we gave him over the years. Poor man Corbin was one of the best characters that has ever been created. I don't care what anybody says.
And he has 2 of the best finishers of all time.
Agreed.
Only one Deep Six and the End of Days are 2 fantastic finishers.
Only one person has ever kicked out of End of Days, and we were in the building for it. WrestleMania 38,
and it got a big pop.
It did. Got a huge pop because everybody knew it. So I hate that for Corbin. I really do. I also hate it for this young lady, Tegan Nox, man. Just so much talent, and just never could put it together, whether it was injuries that constantly plagued her, which have throughout her whole career, or just not given the proper opportunity. Just sad to see her released again, really, for a second time.
Yeah, I hate it for her too. She really picked up a lot of steam in NXT, and then just the knee injuries that she had, which nobody should fault you for your knee injuries and injuries like that, because you can't, you have no control over things like that happening. And so I hate it for her. I hate it she never really got the main roster run that we all were kind of looking forward to and excited for. And I think a lot of people forget her and Dakota Kai were a fantastic team in NXT. I was actually in the building for War Games when Dakota turned on her and kicked her at War Games and everything else like that. That was a huge moment that people remembered, and then their feud going forward, and just I hated that she never. It seemed like every time she got maybe a little momentum, an injury would pop up or something would pop up, and it would derail her. But I think she'll be a fantastic addition to whatever roster she joins. I'm probably, if I was a betting man, I'd throw money on AEW signing her pretty quickly. But I do think her in TNA would be really interesting too, and I think that opens the door for her to return to WWE at some point too. But I hated that it ended the way it kind of did.
I think this next last person that got released fits like a glove in TNA, and I'm talking about Indi Hartwell. I think she fits like a glove in that TNA women's division. I think she is super, super talented. Another one that never really, and I don't understand why, never got the main roster push that she should have gotten. And I'm not saying make her world champion or whatever, but she was healthy. She was always there. Her and Candace got a couple of shots at the tag belts. They were NXT tag champs for a little while, but never did get a shot on the main roster. What's really sad is, I don't know if you follow this or not, but the Johnny Gargano travel vlog every week, Indi Hartwell rates every Planet Fitness that they go to. I'm going to miss Indi's Planet Fitness analysis and ratings. She's a huge part of that vlog. I love it. I love it so much. But it is really sad to see her go.
Yeah, this one kind of shocked me too. They literally just put Candace in there with Nia and had Indi as part of it. So like that really shocked me that this came out of nowhere or as quickly as
even
it did.
had her match on SmackDown after she got released.
They released her. Yeah, which is dirty. I hate that they did that.
Yes,
and like you said, she was NXT tag champ. She was NXT women's champ at one point too. She had a lot of potential and just never really got the opportunity to show it. So I hate it for her. Like you said, I think TNA would be a great fit for her. I think it would be a great spot for her. We've seen what Dana Brooke, Ash Elegance now looks like in TNA, and she she looks completely different and wrestles completely different than she did in WWE. And I think it'd be a good fit for her to go over there and to, work on her craft even more and be independent and things like that and go from there.
And another example of that, I know it was a previous TNA regime, but another example of that was the Iconics when they were active. They went to TNA and they did some really good things at TNA as well.
Mickey James.
Yes, absolutely.
Melina, even like Melina was in TNA for a long time as well. So, I think there's a perfect spot for her to join them.
Yep. I think Indi would be a great addition over at TNA.